this is Matt with Option Omega. Thanks for watching this video. Sorry for the clickbaity title, but we are going to do 3 common mistakes that newcomers to Option Omega backtesting make. This is the first one. As you can see here, we are just looking at one simple long put on a day when the market went down. And here's the graph of the trade replay. And somebody wants a $200 profit target. So they run this. And yeah, the trade made money, but it blew way by the profit target. Why is that? What happened? Well, just like your broker, if you're running a backtest in Option Omega, because we're dealing with options, if you want a $200 profit target, you don't want to enter 200 in the profit target field. You want $2. That, because it's options, will give you a $200 profit. So as you can see, we've got the premium and I have cap profits on, so it's going to stop exactly functioning like a limit order at $2. And there we are, a $200 profit. Notice it's also deducting the fees and commissions from the P&L, but you can clearly see the premium entry and the premium credit on closing. So that is mistake number 1. When people are doing the profit target stop loss, somehow they think that that works different than any of the other dollar fields on here, which all function the same way. So profit target and stop loss, remember, you need to remember you're dealing with options. So there's the multiple of 100 that has to be considered. That's thing number 1. Okay, here's the second most common thing that we see for new users, questions or mistakes that are commonly made. What we have here is we just kept the same long put, and we're looking at a date in 2022 on a Thursday, we got a 0 DTE. And they will say, oh, look, I opened this on a Thursday and it bought the wrong thing. This is wrong. The backtester bought the wrong thing. It bought a January 7th put and I did a 0 DTE on January 6th. The reason for that is because at some point you unchecked use exact DTE. So in this case, January 6, 2022, there was not a 0 DTE put available. That was before 0 DTE puts on Thursday got introduced as a regular thing on SPX. So if you click use exact DTE, it will not trade at all. That is why you do not have a trade. So the use exact DTE button is left on by default, and it is a mechanism that will allow you to only trade on the exact days that you want to. There are situations when you want to leave it checked. There are situations you may wish to uncheck it. We have it checked by default. That is a common thing we see. If you go over to our documentation page, which this is Option Omega Docs, I'm on the FAQ, it goes through the 3 most common things that cause a trade not to trade the way you wanted or the number of times that you wanted or expected. So this is the FAQ, and when somebody asks me a question, this is the mental list that I go through to see why their trade didn't function the way they thought it would. Number 1, not enough margin. Number 2, the one we just covered, which is the most common thing. The exact DTE button is either selected or not selected, and it should be the opposite. The third thing is the padlock next to the strike legs is selected. This is the exact strike offset. We have other resources on this. If you have this checked, which is default, it will only execute if there is an option at that exact strike. So that leads us into the third most common thing that people do not do, and that is check the written documentation. Now, like many pieces of equipment or tools that you have access to in life, most of the hints start with reading the instructions. I, like many people, don't always read the instructions, but with Option Omega, you should definitely read the instructions. You should definitely read the written documentation. This website is optionomegadacs.com. And at a minimum, if you are asking a question or are unsure about things, check the FAQs. We have been doing this for long enough. We see the same questions come up over and over and over. And this FAQ section here will save you a boatload of time. So the third most common thing that new users to Option Omega backtesting don't do that they should do that will save them a lot of time is read the documentation, specifically the FAQ. This documentation is very detailed. We go through creating a backtest, the results screen, working with portfolio. We have video resources, we have Discord resources, but at a minimum, if you have a question, check the FAQ first. So there you have the top 3 things that you can do if you're a new user to Option Omega, and the top 3 things that people get tripped up on when they first start using the backtester. Thank you. Have a great day.